Get into the world of celebrities and Bravolebs with What the Reality with me, Cache Roberts. I discuss the mess of it all, from reality TV, Hey Housewives, to iconic pop culture moments in the making. We are talking about it all. Don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and a comment wherever you listen to your podcast. Welcome to the pod. Not sure if you guys can hear the little fan I have, but I needed something facing directing. Normally my fan is like facing my back, but it's getting a little hot and I needed to put my fan on. Okay, so welcome to the pod. You are listening to What the Reality, or you are watching What the Reality. I also have a weird setup because like the sun's literally setting, but so I had to swap computer stations. So it's so funny, like my mic is like towards the right now when I like for it to be closer to the left. And then my iPad, what I look on, is on my left. So like my mic's like reaching over it. Nonetheless, how are you guys doing? It is Friday. This is not a What the Reality on What's the Reality. This is a plain episode. We'll be back with What the Reality on What's the Reality next Friday, of course. You know, I like to do a week on, a week off, or maybe 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. But I'm getting used to my schedule again, and it's going to be consistent until the end of July when I have my next trip. I'm going to Cancun, so I'm so excited. I probably shouldn't even be going. I feel like my credit card is just like screaming at me to stop using it. But you only live once, and I made a commitment ever since I turned 25 last year. I'm going to be 26 this year. There are big things coming my way. Like, I refuse to be in the same situation I am right now, which is, like, at home, at this place I work at. I want to be in my industry, so I actually do have some good news. I literally just got another freelance gig writing. I also write you guys, so I'm writing, like, beauty-related stories. It's a nice little freelance gig, a nice reputable source that I'll be writing for on the side, but just something to really help pay the credit cards. But no, I have other bigger plans. Hard being a creative person in a limited office space. Like, it's very difficult. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen, but I'm turning 26, therefore I'm at a quarter life crisis. And yeah, I'm just really excited to go explore. I have some cities that I really love. I'm really excited to move very soon and just really explore in my 20s, as they say you should. So we'll see what happens. All the manifestors out there, continue manifesting for me. But we have a jam-packed episode for What's the Reality. What's the reality? I literally flipped those for What the Reality. What's the reality on What the Reality? We'll be back next week. I literally flipped the two. But let's just start off with these reality topics because, of course, there's a lot. Then I want to get into some reality TV that I've been watching this week and enjoying thoroughly. I hesitate on thoroughly because I'm like, have I been enjoying it? I've been enjoying it. We're going to talk about some things. This is really going to be like my last Toxic, but it's Tuesday episode, because the last episode I was recapping the same stuff I'm low-key about to be recapping in terms of like episodes, but these reality topics are different. First off, let's start with Justin Bieber. Just snuck that in here today that he is dropping an album. When you guys are hearing this, his album should be out. It's going to be called Swag. He is standing on business. It's clocking to us now that he is standing on business. So he's going to be dropping that album. Apparently, they're saying it's going to be the old Justin Bieber, or this might be the worst album of all time. I hear he needs the money, but you know what? In this economy, who doesn't need the money? So look out for that. I've never really been a Justin Bieber fan. I just think it's shocking to me that he's been in the studio this whole time, the way he's been moving, because he's been moving a little odd. In my voice, he's kind of an odd individual. Let's get into Denise Richards. So it just turns out that her show will not be returning. Am I shocked? No. However, I am surprised because Aaron just literally filed for divorce. So I thought for sure they were going to renew it. And I thought they had pretty good ratings, but people talked about it. I told you guys in the last episode, I clocked out of it because I was just kind of like, it was so fake to me. But now it's like, I kind of want to finish watching it, especially since it's just one season. And I'm just like, was I missing something out of the whole Aaron of it all? Like, I just wonder if I was missing something, especially now that he's filed for divorce and is asking for this crazy list. If you guys haven't listened to my Toxic But It's Tuesday, because he definitely made the toxic list. But yeah, it was not renewed. But they didn't say it was canceled. It just said it's not returning. So I wonder if she's just like, I don't want to be on this show anymore. But they said she may make a couple of appearances on Beverly Hills. So my thing with that is, like, whenever I see Denise on Beverly Hills, it just seems like she's literally not herself. And, like, she can't really form a cohesive sentence. It's very awkward, I'm assuming, to film with her. So I don't know if it's a good idea that she would come back to the show, especially if she doesn't want to answer questions about her relationship. But I think we are all very shocked. They calling it the Beverly Hills curse. Whenever you're a Beverly Hills housewife, you end up divorced. I think Eileen and Lisa Vanderpump are, like, the last couple standing, and, like, Joyce. Also, speaking of Beverly Hills, I saw a picture, like, Brandi Glanville. I'm not even going to post it on here, because I don't even want to spread that information and, like, harm people's eyes. She does not look good. Still claiming there's a parasite in her face. If you're asking me, God, I don't like ugly. It's so crazy because yesterday was just I film on Thursdays and I film on Mondays and Thursdays. My shows come out Tuesday, Fridays. So it's Thursday I'm talking about this. So on Wednesday I just had a terrible day. And it was just one of those days where it's just like, oh my gosh, like, take me to LA, take me freaking anywhere from here, take me to Miami. I just want to go, okay? Like, I just need to be somewhere else right now. And it was coming up at the light on my way home, and this person, like, the lane is skinny, but 2 cars for real could fit in there, not a big truck. And of course, it was like 2 cars could fit in there, especially if you're making a right, because then it widens again. So I was about to make my right as the lane is skinnying, but that person could still drive. I don't know if that person thought I was about to cut them off. But when I tell you, I wasn't really thinking about them, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just want to, like, literally go home, put my pajamas on, and watch The Crown. Like, or no, what was yesterday? And watch Love Island. I just wanted to relax. I don't even think it was Love Island. I just wanted to relax and put my pajamas on. So this person tries to, like, literally cut me off. I think he thinks I'm trying to make a left and cut him off. I'm not. And it's just so funny because I can make a right. He has to make a left. And right when he tries to, like, if he got some way. So either way, he had to stop at the light. The light turned red for him. And he had to slam on his brakes. I always say he's when these people are driving, because I just assume it's, like, some dumb man driving and, like, just being a man. I never say it's a girl, but I'm always like, oh, he did this. But he had to slam on his brakes and stop, and I was still turning, making it right. And that's why I always say God just don't like ugly, because it's like, you really tried it to cut me off. You was mad. Nobody even thinking about you. And then you got stopped at the light. I feel like when stuff like that happens, especially in front of me, I'm just like, God really do not like ugly. You know, that famous saying growing up. That's what I grew up with my mom saying. And not karma, but it's just like, things happen very fast. And I just felt like that was his quick little get back. Because it's just like, nobody's thinking about you. No one's about to do anything. But because you're being nasty, mean-spirited, this is just what happened to you. Therefore, I relate this back to Brandi Glanville. Because Brandi has been a vile human being on Beverly Hills. And I don't know. I just feel like this is her God don't like ugly moment. Her face looks atrocious. Do you really want me to believe that was a parasite, or is that just like a bad Botox filler moment gone wrong? She didn't do her research. She literally went somewhere to get her filler done, and it didn't work out. And it ate at her face. But I also know she got a really bad chemical burn from, like, some spa she went to, so I don't know if it's get back from that or, like, it's not completely out. something and got Brandy bad, and it's just not shocking to me because she's not a nice person. Her face looks scary, and I'm not sharing that picture because I feel like that will literally haunt people in their dreams, including myself. But she doesn't look well. If you guys want an update, you should just Google what her face looks like. There's a picture going around. Let's talk about some more housewives before we get into these reality TV topics and some other reality topics. So Charles Oakley went on a podcast, and they were like, well, how did you and Angela even meet or, like, get married? And he basically alluded to the fact that I think somebody put something in my drink, or I was drugged to walk down the aisle in Vegas. He said they got married in Vegas. And when you hear Vegas, you think it's very, like, oh, it's Vegas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a plant wedding, it's a shotgun wedding, or, like, it's just a quickie. Like, it's like, oh, we're here, let's just get married. You know what I mean? Or we don't have the funds to get married, let's just get married real quick. That's what it's always giving. So, but, hey, some Vegas weddings, some people really do want to get married in Vegas, so that's different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, isn't that The Hangover? Like, they actually got married in Vegas. But, so, it was just giving, like, him trying to embarrass Angela again, and again, and again. I feel like that is an odd relationship. Either way, Angela took to her Twitter. I might play the video here or there, wherever I play it, and basically was like, yeah, you need to get the story straight. It was such a cringe, like, 3-minute video, y'all. Essentially, she said he's banned from going on podcasts. He said, well, I was banned from Madison Square Garden. She said he was banned for something else, and now they are dropping a YouTube channel, and it's going to be called Banned, which is actually kind of cute. Like, I actually, like, love their name. But it's going to be a YouTube channel, and I think that's going to answer, like, all their relationship questions, because a lot of people, including myself, have some questions about their relationship, their dynamic. So that's dropping July 29th. I am going to tune in if I remember. I'm going to try to remember and recap it for you guys, or just, like, what is the first episode giving. I think Atlanta will still be on at that time because it's 3 parts. I don't see how the reunion is 3 parts. But let me see. Because, yeah, it'll be 1, 2, 3. Oh, it won't be out. It'll be wrapping up. So it comes out on that Tuesday, and then the last part of Atlanta will be July 27th. So they're going to be addressing it all in my Bethany Frankel voice. Mention it all. Mention it all. What else can we talk about before we get into some serious stuff? Gia Giudice just wrote a note to that man in office to let her daddy come back to America. She's like, we can only see him in Italy. We can only see him in Jamaica. Because, you know, he was deported. So she wrote a hand note to Mr. Man in office. We'll see if he is able to come back to America soon. They're really cracking down on these deportations. The ICE is rating the likelihood of him being able to come in. I don't know. It's a little girl, like, she's not little, she's like my age, but a girl writing to the president to let her dad come home. I don't know. Trump, I should not have said his name. I said his name, y'all. He is he's a picker and choosing. He's picking and choosing. So he may let Joe Giudice come back to New Jersey, or he might let him come to Hawaii, or a U.S. territory, maybe, like, I don't know. He might let him, but should he? The deportation thing is, like, sticky for me in this situation. I mean, yes, Joe did a crime, but I also understand he has, like, a full family. Feelings aside for Teresa, even though I am a tree hugger or whatever, and what they did was wrong and just dumb. Don't sign things, y'all, if you don't know what you're signing. And that's for Teresa's behalf. But, he got 4 daughters. I mean, I'm sure it's a hassle. Like, you want to see dad, you got to hop on your private jet or, like, book your first class airplane ticket, make a whole vacation out of it. I mean, honestly, wherever Joe's at, because he has access to a lot, it's not like they can't see him is my only thing. But I understand kind of wanting him, especially Adriana, Melania. I cannot remember the one girl's name. Because what is it? Gia, Adriana, Melania, and then the other one that looked just like him. I can understand, like, these are, like, life-changing moments. I don't even think Adriana's in high school yet, or she might be in high school, the youngest. I cannot think of the other one that is, like, closer in age to Gia. But I can understand wanting your dad home. I mean, they paid their price. I mean, we'll see what that man chooses to do. Speaking of ICE deportations, let's just hop into a little Love Island. I'm not recapping it, but I am talking about this ongoing situation. So Cierra has issued a public apology, which I'm probably going to put on my screen. But she's issued a public apology, and I want to get it up. I took a screenshot of it, and she's also posted a video. And the video had receipts, and basically she was, like, apologizing, but she was like, and again, I am a Black woman. I am not the one that's being offended. I was the one being offended with the whole Ulysses stuff. This is to our Asian, American community. This is to Asians in general. She used a term she should not have used. So I just want to disclaim that I personally can't choose to accept something. However, her apology, I thought she did take accountability, and she made a point to say that this is an accountability video. This is not an apology video. People are saying that was so media trained, but my argument to that would be, would you rather her give a half a apology on her story? No, she sat down for a minute or whatever, rambled, and told, like, hey. She even showed screenshots. She's like, when this was brought to her attention. So all we know is that she used it in an Instagram story back in 2014, 2015. I don't know why someone would still have that. She was super young, and she was like, I don't want my eyes to look a certain way. I talked about this in my Toxic, but it's Tuesday. Tune in. And then it was brought up in DMs that someone said, hey, it's super offensive. You should not use that. And the way she responded was, oh, too bad I didn't mean it that way or ever meant it that way or something. I don't know where that one is from. But however, she is responding. Something happened in 2024 when she said it again. And someone brought it to her attention, like, hey, you probably shouldn't be saying it. And she has the screenshot of that apology. And it was a full apology. I'm going to also try to look for that right now, because I just thought she took accountability as well. Let me see if I can. It was a 4-minute video, you guys. Like, it was 4 minutes and 43 seconds. But I'm trying to see. Can I not see highlights? But it was a full apology to this person. Like, she's going to do her best to educate herself. She doesn't want to offend anyone. She's terribly sorry. Okay, this is, like, literally not loading right now. Yeah, it's not loading right now. So that was that. And then she posted this on her Instagram story. She said, I do not and have never condoned racism or the repression of any cultural group in any form. I would never intentionally use any word, especially a slur, to tear down anyone's culture or community. When I used that word, I didn't fully understand what it meant or how much pain it carries. I learned how deeply wrong it was when I was called out for it in 2024. And as you can see in the screenshot I shared in my video, I was genuinely ashamed and wanted to do whatever I could in that moment to make sure I never make that careless mistake again. I know an apology means nothing without real accountability and change, and that's what I've done my best to live up to since then, and what I will continue to do. While I have no ill intention, I fully understand that impact matters more than intent. I don't expect forgiveness overnight. I just hope that in time I can show that I'm more than a mistake, a label, or a character on a high-edited reality show. Clock it. I'm someone trying to spread love and light, even when I get it wrong, and I hope my actions from here speak louder than this mistake ever did. My experience in the villa was nothing short of magical. The memories I made and the people I met are the ones I'll cherish forever. While I'm heartbroken, my journey has to be cut short. I understand the mistakes, especially ones like this, deserve consequences. Once again, to the Asian community, I'm deeply sorry for my thoughtless mistake and the harm it caused. With love and humility, C. Now, what was her major in college? Because it's definitely giving PR. It's definitely giving media trained. But like I said, I'd rather an apology like that than something that's like, I'm deeply sorry, I'll never do this again. You know what I mean? But I did want to say she was wearing a freaking sweatshirt in that video that said empath. And I'm like, Cierra, a little delulu. But, okay, so she's made the mistake. This was addressed in 2024. Her handlers did not show this. I just think it's unfortunate how her experience ended. Do I understand this needs to be addressed, nipped in the butt 110%? And I'm glad she took accountability. This was way more than Yulissa ever did, because Yulissa still is like, well, it's not a bad word, with her little itty-bitty titties or whatever. Fake. They're so fake. They don't even look good. Like, they're so fake. But Cierra, I just feel for her because it seems as though she pissed off a certain group of people, and I'm not talking about the Asian community. They have every right to be upset about it. I mean, it's derogatory. It's a slur. She's pissed off the Hudrats, though. The Huda HQ. And I'm sorry, these Hudrats are more toxic than freaking Real Housewives of New Jersey fans. Cierra has apologized. People are still leaving nasty comments. People are leaving nasty comments under Adriana's section because she said something about Huda, or like they saying she's spinning words. But at the end of the day, we're watching edited reality shows. Like, it's very edited. Everything is edited. And it's like everyone wants to defend Huda and act like she didn't terrorize this group of people, these islanders, the first couple of weeks. So it's like, unfortunately, Cierra has pissed the Hudrats off. That is what they're calling them. That is what I'm calling them. These are teenagers. These are people that are very similar to MAGA. These are people that do not have any, like, thinking skills. These are people that probably need to take up reading and comprehension and also need therapy and probably, like, an exorcism or something. Like, these are deeply troubled people that are buying followers for Huda Bubba, that are literally calling Chelley and Alandria ugly, that are inciting violence against these two Black women. They're just taking it too far, because at the end of the day, Love Island ends July 14th, and then people will be on to Beyond the Villa, and it'll be a whole new news cycle. And that's why I do appreciate that break of Love Island on Wednesdays, because it always gets so dark, the fan base, and I need to get on the good side, whether it's someone just continuously rooting for Chelley, and it's just like Chelley and Ace, and it's like Nicolandria, and then it's like Huda Bubbas and the HQ, and then like buying her like social media followers, and like, you know, the only like clean fan base I actually feel really comfortable with is the Maya Papayas, like, because Maya's just so genuine. But it's like, whenever you tune into any of these fan bases, like, it's just too much energy. Like, people have too much time on their hands. They don't have full-time jobs. And they're just doing way too much, digging up stuff from people's past, putting it out there. They're nitpicking everything. And it's like, at the end of the day, it is a reality show. And they film 24 hours. We're getting an edited version of what producers want to see. And that's why I don't think I'd ever get selected, because I very much know what is going on. But I just feel like the Hudrats are taking it too far. You have, like, as soon as Chelley and Alandria showed any ounce of frustration with Huda after the 3-4 weeks of just nonstop, it was about her and Jeremiah, really ruined the Love Island experience for the Islanders. Did it bring drama to our screens? Yes, that's all we can talk about. But really ruined their experience, and I can understand being exhausted with that. I can also understand Cierra being exhausted with that. I can understand the Islanders not wanting her in their villa. But also, the sisterhood has ruined this season of Love Island. Love Island 6, it just happened organically. I also blame Love Island 6 for all of this stuff for happening. Because I feel like before then, I was watching Love Island in my own little bubble. I had nothing on UK at the moment, the USA ones, but I was enjoying it in my bubble. There weren't that many people talking about it. Now you have this overexposure of Love Island 6 that they even want to, the Love Island USA 6 that they want to make a spinoff. The UK had seasons, Love Island season 5 through 8, that was bangers, and they never did a spinoff. I just feel like this overproduction of that cast has really worsened the fan base. And it's like, this is the worst fan base I've seen for a season of Love Island. And I watch Love Island. I watch it. I'm true to this, not new to this, but a lot of these people are new to this. Even Leah Khattab's fans were not this insane. Because Leah, at the end of the day, was funny. Huda is just an emotional vampire. And it's like, now you got all these other emotional vampires, like, trying to suck the worst out of these people. You have people like Buzzfeed, which I'm, like, totally now ashamed to have even worked for them. Because how did you even pass this on your socials? They're like Tasty, which is Buzzfeed's food recipe brand, posted what they would give each islander. I'm going to post the screenshot because the screenshot's gone. The post is down, of course. But they posted this terrible, ill-mannered post about what they would give Chelley for breakfast, what they'd make her. And they're like a bowl of fruit, goldfish in case Ace gets fussy, and a knuckle sandwich. And it's literally like, you can't even see. Let me try to turn my brightness down. A knuckle sandwich. A knuckle sandwich? What? That's what they're saying they would have given Chelley. And it says, as any Love Island watcher knows, the contestants never forget to eat their breakfast, but while their mans are the ones cooking them the delicious meal every morning, I'm showing you the breakfast I would make the girls instead. Then they took it down and replaced it with this. Pancakes. We published a version of this, and this is what the caption says. I'm going to put it on my screen because what? We published a version of this post earlier today that was meant to ruffle some feathers, all in good fun, about a TV show we collectively can't get enough of. But one of our jokes missed the mark. We referenced a knuckle sandwich in our slide about Chelley, and though it was meant to be cheeky, it landed with racial undertones that we didn't intend, and it has in parentheses, but should have seen this coming. Tasty is meant to be joyful, welcoming space, and this post didn't reflect that. As massive Love Island fans, we took it down, talked it through, and reworked it to make sure the jokes didn't come to anyone's expense. Thank you for helping us do better. My thing is, like, you're inciting violence. There's been this influencer, I don't even know her name. Her name's like Andrea or something. I don't know who this girl is, but everyone's coming for her because she had a punching bag and was like, this is Landria and Chelley. They're punching it. And then we got Chewy Oats in the mix. This is why I don't even eat Chewy bars anymore. Nature's Valley is where it's at. But Chewy Oats was like, we're making overnight oats for everyone. Like, and then someone was like, oh my gosh, Chelley loves that stuff. And then they were like, we would never do that to Huda. So it's like, now brands are falling for this propaganda. Who are these social media accounts? They deleted that. They were like, yeah, that wasn't a reflection of like how we are as a brand. I don't even think I have that screenshot. But I'm going to look for it because I'm just like, what is going on? Let me see if I can find that post. Because I'm just like, y'all are sick in the head. You were sick in the head. The apology from Buzzfeed Tasty was terrible. Like, it's just terrible what's going on. Because of that one episode, the male episode, a lot of people can't let that go, I guess. And they are just doing the absolute most, these brands, and it's just really, really, really sickening, and I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. That's my spill on the Love Island. Cierra has apologized. I hope there is a reunion and she's invited. We don't need Yulissa there because she has walked back her apology multiple times. But Cierra was a big part of Love Island, which is why I do hope she is invited to the reunion, because at that point, what is the point of having a reunion? I mean, she's in a lot of the stuff. I don't know how this is going to end. At this point, my winners are Amaya, Nicolandria, and then, of course, Chelley and Ace. I don't know who I'm voting for, though. I really don't, because, like I said, I'll be happy if any one of them win. I just do not want Huda and Chris to win, and I do not want Iris and Pepe to win, because I think it's the biggest joke of a relationship. You both are just crying over your two people leaving, and now you're both hopping on top of each other. Like, where's the class? And also, I'm just always disgusted with how many people, like, literally want to get down in the bedroom with 10 other people sleeping next to them on these shows. Like, Iris and Pepe, y'all both on y'all. Huda, I'm like, girls, you is a mother. Let's put it away. Let's put it away. And people are like, why are you guys just coming for Huda? I just mentioned Iris and Pepe, now what? And Hannah, because Hannah was on her second. It's kind of getting crazy to me. It's getting a little crazy to me. I'm looking forward to this finale. The last episode is Sunday. Figure out who wins. There is no movie night. The people are mad about that. Oh, well. Let's talk about Real Housewives of OC returned. I don't watch that. How was it? Let me know. Brock and Sheena, and then we're going to get into our reality TV topics. I want to talk about Next Gen NYC. I want to talk about The Valley, and I want to talk about Real Housewives of Miami. But first, I want to talk about Brock and Sheena. So Sheena is dropping a memoir like she's an 80-year-old because she wants some attention, and she is now leaking some of that. Well, it's not leaking. It's just like, this is what you can expect in the memoir. So essentially, Brock cheated on Sheena, which is she was very dicey with how she used her words. She didn't say cheat. She said he had an affair. Did he have an affair? There's a possibility. The thing is, though, he had this affair while she was pregnant with Summer. We were watching Vanderpump Rules when she was pregnant with Summer. Or this was like right after she had the baby or something. I think it came back after like the COVID season or something. It was weird. She was on TV. So now Sheena's doing a Robin Dixon from Potomac, who I do not miss, where it's like either your partner cheated on you, yet you're going in on Raquel and the whole Tom situation, and then you're going in on Ariana for not forgiving Tom, and it all makes sense because Sheena's the one that accepted her cheating jobless man, because he don't got a job still, and he don't see his kids, and he's a deadbeat dad. So it's like, you're upset that Ariana isn't tied down to this loser of Tom Sandoval. She didn't get pregnant by him. They were never married. She was able to break free, and she didn't need to do it for the show. You're upset because it's like subliminally, it's like, or like subconsciously, it's like something you and Lala have to go through. So it's just beyond me that it's like, this is just coming out in your memoir. And that was like 2 seasons ago, and you didn't even talk about this. Like, you didn't talk about this. But I do find it interesting. One of those seasons, it was very where she was like, now I'm worried Brock would cheat on me with Raquel. Like, you wouldn't do that to me. But I'm like, is this when you arguing he cheated on you? And you're just making sure he wouldn't cheat on you with your friend because you're shocked Raquel did that? I don't know. I'm just like, Sheena will always be the biggest joke to me. And then she like literally hashtagged The Valley. But we'll see what the people say about the memoir. Am I reading it? No. I'm just shocked Sheena would stay with this man who had an affair. And I'm curious to see what her castmates think. Because it's like, here you go going 10 times hard with the whole Ariana-Tom situation. Like, Ariana just needs to forgive him. Just get in the room, forgive him. And you're over here forgiving your cheating, deadbeat, jobless man who took all of your money to invest in an app. The application not even up, honey. It's not even an app. It's not even an app. He took your money to open a gym. The gym's not up. Like, what does he do for you besides take care of Summer? And it's like, you can get your mom to do that. So you just literally are desperate. I feel like male-centered women are the scariest women, and that's leading me into The Valley. Do you guys like how I did that transition? I'm a wordsmith when it comes to transitions when I'm writing, but I'm trying to become that when I'm talking. So male-centered women, I fear, are the scariest women, because when I talk about that in terms of The Valley, I'm talking about Michelle. Michelle is so male-centered. She should probably spend less time canoodling her non-blinking butt boyfriend and spend a little more time trying to fix the family dynamic between her daughter and her ex and herself. She's super just male-centered on making work with Aaron, dropping hints, I hope we get married. Girl, your daughter is still getting used to the fact that her parents aren't together. I feel like Michelle is super male-centered. She relates a lot of stuff back to her. I also feel like Brittany's male-centered, because why the heck, after Kristen and Luke get engaged, would you call Jax up and tell him? And then you're upset at Jax for telling people when you know this is the type of person he is. Brittany and Jax are the same person, and that is manipulative, deceptive, narcissist. And Brittany may have had us fooled with this Kentucky accent this whole time. Ooh, I was about to quote James Kennedy. But she may have had a lot of people fooled, like, oh, she's the damsel in distress that is just Jax's next victim. But she knows exactly what she's doing, which is why Stassi, till this day, doesn't mess with her, hasn't hit her up about the whole divorce, because Stassi's a real one. So this recent episode, let me see, which one is it? The most recent episode, Kristen's engagement is out, they're celebrating, and Brittany has told Jax. Jax has ran to the boys group chat saying, like, oh my gosh, congrats, Luke, or like he wants to do something for them. Kristen's biggest thing is she didn't want this out because she wasn't able to tell her parents or her sister yet, which I totally forgot Kristen had a sister. But she didn't want this information out yet, especially because they were in Hawaii, and everyone else is like 6 hours ahead of them. So she did not want it out like that. She wanted to go home and tell them. And everyone respected that except for Brittany. Brittany was also very upset she was not included in the plans. Now we see why she was not included. Because the first second you get to tell Jax, you're still tied to Jax. The first second you get to tell him, you go run and tell him. And I feel like she told him because she was upset that she was not included. That's why I feel like she told him. Because she kind of wanted to ruin it. She wanted to ruin it. So then we have insufferable, miserable looking. You ever look at somebody, you just like, you was just a miserable person. You just an eyesore to look at. That's how I feel about Janet. Like, it's just like, I look at her and I'm like, you are a bitter, miserable person. And her middle part is thinning. Let me stop. I don't like to come for looks, so I'm like, can't do much about that. But girl, get some contour, fix that face, because her face, fix that face in my Sheree voice. She just is so miserable. So like the celebration is happening. She's like, I'm not going to dinner. She's like, they come back to debrief. Kristen and Luke aren't even with them. And she's like telling Jason she doesn't want to cry in bed. She's trying not to cry because she wants to make this trip about herself. She had every intention to try to activate Kristen. The thing is with Janet has studied the show. She's a fan. So she, at this point, is trying to get fans to flip on Kristen. And they're not flipping because if we want to talk about redemption arcs, let's not talk about the Hudda Bubba. Let's talk about Kristen Doty. That is a redemption arc. Stassi on Vanderpump Villa is a redemption arc, even though I'm not watching that show. I mean, who is watching Vanderpump Villa? But I'm just saying, those are redemption arcs. Jax is not a redemption arc. And Brittany, I'm sorry, you're not having a redemption arc either. Like, you actually look dumb AF. Because I'm just like, you want us to feel bad that you got yourself involved in this situation, but at first you have no accountability to what you've done to put yourself in this situation. This man was terrible to your family. So many red flags, cheated on you how many times, and you want me to feel bad? And that's why I always say I can have empathy. I can put my my feet in someone else's shoes. But do I feel sorry for you? Do I have sympathy for you? No, it stops at empathy. In empathy, you can be angry with someone and still be an empath. But Janet's just miserable to look at. She wanted to start a fight once she found out it was Kristen's celebratory dinner. She's like, I'm not coming. And then she shows up to the yacht with stank face, stank hair, stank outfit, stank glasses. And we find out that Jason is a partner at his law firm. What law firm? I don't know. And it's very shocking. It's actually giving scam because there's no way you're a partner at a law firm and your literal wife is throwing out accusations of sexual assault, warning you guys, trigger warning, molestation, touching. Like, I mean, did Danny touch the skirt? Yes, but we're taking it very far, especially for people with victims. Shocked Bravo didn't have a trigger warning in that as well. And she used another term. She was like, I think, did she say pedophile? I don't know. She was using some wild vocabulary words. Kristen went off and she was like, this is why I'm literally done with you. Janet's like, this is why everyone knows you as Crazy Kristen, not Crazy Janet. And it's like, you're just proving how much of a fan you are. So the next couple episodes, we're going to see Kristen kind of fight with her old self and her new self because she's recently engaged. She has this amazing fiance, because they're not married yet. They just had baby Kaya. Luke is a very stand-up person. And it's crazy because last season I was like, does he really like her? Like, I didn't see it really going far. I was like, is this just a rebound? Luke is a very stand-up guy. And he cleaned up very nice. He's like, all right, I'm on TV. I got some money now. But I'm really excited for Luke and Kristen. Like, Luke is a very nice person. Genuine. So, we're going to start seeing Kristen kind of fight with her old self. I don't think she's going to lose the audience. I think the audience is rooting for Kristen and Luke. I'm rooting for them. But we're seeing her kind of battle with her old self. Like, do I want to be messy and throw something else in there? And we also see her admit, like, I only brought up this Jason rumor because you went for my friends Danny and Nia. And everyone knows that is what Kristen does. What sign is Kristen Doty? I need to figure that out, like, ASAP. Because either way, whatever sign she is, I'm sure it'll make plenty sense to me. Okay. Maybe it won't. February 17th. She's an Aquarius. That made no sense to me. I definitely thought she was going to, like, fire sign. But, yes, so we're going to see that in the next couple episodes. What else happened this episode? Jasmine is upset that Danny and Nia showed up to the celebratory dinner late, even though they were on the boat, they were showering and stuff. Jasmine is another one that won't let the mouse go. I even think her girlfriend's getting sick of her. Melissa, she's kind of like, they were on the boat, they're showering, it's fine. Especially when Michelle's like, well, Aaron's coming late. I hope that's fine. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, that's fine. No one else had a problem with Danny and Nia coming late. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm talking too much and not breathing enough. But no one else had a problem with them coming late because they knew they were planning this whole thing with Zach as well. Except for Jasmine. She's like, and then Brittany's like, I don't want it to be another thing about him taking a nap or I'm literally leaving. And even Zach's like, all right, you guys need to stop because you guys are doing way too much. It's not that deep. Like, there go Brittany relating it back to herself. You know who else is relating it back to themselves? I'm tweeting this stuff. You guys should follow me on Twitter. Like, I just started really tweeting. I used to just be a watcher on Twitter. But now I tweet. It is hard to get followers on Twitter. So please follow me on Twitter for my thoughts. But justice for Jax Taylor cannot stop being in my likes on Twitter. He must like what I'm saying, and I'm pretty sure that is ran by Mr. Jax Taylor himself. It's his other fan account. But I just find it funny that every time I talk about Brittany, I haven't had a shady post towards Jesse because Jesse's so headstrong and trying to prove Michelle cheated on him. I think we all know she cheated on you. And with Aaron, you really gonna sit there and believe that Aaron gonna tell you the truth that they cheated together? They cheated together. But I'm like, I don't really care anymore. I really don't care anymore. So it's just kind of like, Jill, let's move on. We already know she cheated on you. She admitted to it. Like, I don't know what else Jesse wanted. So I was tweeting some of that. Justice for Jax Taylor was, like, liking the stuff. Liked some other stuff. Because I'm just like, Brittany, you was not this innocent girl. And I think Brittany will have the most to answer for at the reunion. If she's not defending Kristen and Zach, she's defending Janet more, which is shocking to me. And I can't stand when grown people talk about how many best friends they have. Like, Brittany's like, Kristen's one of my best friends. Girl, how many best friends do you have? Because it's giving a lot. Like, this person's your best friend. Stassi was your best friend. These aren't all your best friends, honey. And clearly Janet is your best friend because that's the only person's back you have these days. You don't even have Zach's back, and you guys grew up in Kentucky together. So I'm just like, girl, if she mentions a best friend again, I'm literally going to shoot myself in the toe. Because I'm just like, I cannot hear Brittany in that country accent say best friend one more time. You know who else accent I literally cannot stand? Peep my transitions, y'all. Brooks Marks. Is it Brooks Marks? Okay, let's talk about Next Gen NYC, which only has 8 episodes, and we just passed the 6th episode. Is it the 6th episode? I think we're going to be on the 7th. Like, why do they only have 8 episodes? I can't with Brooks Marks' voice and his narrating. I don't know who decided to put him on the mic. That man is so slow at talking. The way I probably already blinked and had lunch by the time he finishes a sentence is insane. He don't need to be narrating, and he also really don't need to be on the show, because only thing interesting about him is when he brings on Meredith and Seth, which I think is very crazy because it just proves they live in New York City full time. Like, they rent in Salt Lake City. Either way, Charlie is getting into it with everyone on Next Gen NYC. Everyone except for Ava. I'm still shocked they have not hooked up or anything. It's definitely giving couple. But so Ava's not coming to the Jersey Shore because she got a Dolce & Gabbana event that she can't miss. And I find out, or spoiler alert, in the sneak peek, y'all, Amira was invited to the same event and she didn't go. Like, Ava's like, I take my events very serious. Like, in the industry, I'm really trying to be taken serious as a model. And got Amira over here skipping it. She's like, it wasn't that important. Like, Ava, so my beef with Ava, and I talk about this in Toxic But It's Tuesdays. Make sure you definitely listen to the Toxic But Tuesdays. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. But my issue with Ava is she has no individuality. She is truly a trust fund baby. If it's not her dad's identity she's sticking on to her mom, Rachel Roy, who's gorgeous, is like fashion designer, yada, yada, yada. She doesn't have any identity. So it's like when she has these events, she has to point it out so she can make an identity. But girl, you're not even like the model of New York City. You are a Nepo model. Like, you know what I mean? And you're not even like a Kendall Jenner one. So I would advise her to be a little more kind and humble if she really wanted to go anywhere in life, because her dad is facing a foreclosure of a building. And that's the real tea. Or he can't pay his bills and stuff. So it's like, what are we flexing on? I mean, Amira literally skipped the Dolce & Gabbana event. If Brooks is your friend and you don't show up to his Jersey Shore, like, he's turning 25. 25 is a big number to turn. It's your quarter-life crisis. That's probably the only thing Brooks said in this episode that I agreed on. It's a big age. It's kind of like, dang, quarter of your life's over. I know I'm being dramatic, but it's still, 25 is a good number to turn. And it's just like, Ava not showing up. I have my suspicions and theories that she did not show up because Brooks literally outed her to Ariana, basically about, like, what are you doing in fashion? When it's like, Ava, I've seen anything from you impressionable. The only thing impressionable is that hair and that waist, girl. The outfits, they're never really giving. But Georgia, speaking of the waist, Georgia thinks that Amira is on Ozempic because they had a seafood boil and Amira did not eat. The other people were at grocery shopping, and I think Georgia was back. And so Amira literally ordered some Red Robin, and I'm just like, mood. And Georgia saw her eating. She's like, well, you know we're going to dinner. And she's like, well, I didn't eat, like, at all today, so I'm going to eat my Red Robin. Also, the Jersey Shore house is beautiful. I would not think they're at the Jersey Shore. But she was like, oh my gosh, those Ozempic's wearing off. Georgia, is it possible to love a villain 110%? My love for villains does not stop short. It doesn't stop short of Phaedra Parks. It doesn't stop short of Teresa Giudice, of Lisa Vanderpump. And it's not stopping at Georgia. What's her last name? I don't know her last name. From Georgia, from Next Gen NYC. She said the Ozempic done worn off. Now, is Amira on Ozempic? No. Should she have said that? No. But I do love a villain like that. I don't like an Ava villain that's like, oh, I didn't even know you were in fashion. You don't get fashion. And I'm like, girl, it's New York. Any one of these people sitting at this table could be in fashion and you wouldn't know a thing. Like, it is New York City. That's what you come to New York for. You come to New York to discover yourself. That wasn't a read. Now, the Ozempic one is a read because everybody and their mama is on Ozempic. Like, literally. But Georgia said that. Georgia is getting into it with Charlie. He tries to hug her, reconcile. Also, Charlie's comment about, like, the only thing he knows about the Jersey Shore is a bunch of ugly chicks is actually insane. But people want him off the show. I don't want Charlie off the show. I'm enjoying his moments. I enjoy everyone on Next Gen NYC for their different moments. But Georgia's not really trying to make up with Charlie because let's not forget he called her a delusional broke bee. How do you come back from that? And it was all over a speaker that I think she quite loved because she was not trying to get that speaker back. But it's just funny to me because these are people in their 20s and I can relate to this pettiness. But it's like also I'd rather not have that type of pettiness in my facility, in my person at all. Like I get rid of the drama. I like to watch drama. I don't like to be involved in the drama. And it's so crazy because I'm a Leo. But Georgia is upset that people have basically swapped under the rug what he's done because Ariana's trying to get a selfie with him at dinner. So she's talking loudly. Georgia was a little lit. She was like, I just think it's crazy that Ariana's being fake. I actually love Ariana and Hudson too. I'm like, okay, Hudson's iced out. I love Hudson and Ariana as well. But Hudson's also getting a little mad because Riley did tell them that Charlie was trying to sleep with Ariana. Hudson's like, well, let me put my jewelry on and let me get my knuckle ready, basically, to go stomp Charlie out, which I would be here for. But I like Hudson and Ariana. We also see Kim Zolciak. And I was talking about this with my coworker, and she says she's always been that small. Kim has not been that small. Like, and I don't know if it's because every time we've seen her, it's always after she's had a baby. I do not recall Kim Zolciak being that small at all. Like, Ozempic small. She was on Ozempic. Her head's bigger than her body. I don't recall her being that small ever. Like, ever. But she's there. And it's just so interesting because we see the two different situations play out. Like, Candy's the type, as a mom, it's grown folks' business. You don't need to know why me and Kim fell out. Kim is the type to her daughter be like, she literally took me to court. It's very interesting, the levels of transparency. And I also think that just goes like, everything's a race thing. Like, black households, that's something my mom would say. Like, that's grown folks' business. Like, you don't need to know. Especially if I'm getting cool with someone's daughter. That she used to be cool with the mom. Like, it would be grown folks' business. I don't think my parents would be like, oh, this will happen, this will happen. But I don't know. But then it's also like with Kim, she has no filter, and her kids don't either. So it's just interesting to me how Candy Burris has explained, you know, this is why I don't talk to Kim Zolciak. And Kim is like, this is why I don't talk to Candy Burris. And that whole situation was wild because I remember Candy breaking down at the reunions, like, you're making $80K off this song. You think I only deserve 40, like $80K, I think it was like a month. And you only think I deserve 4,000. It was like 4,000, like total. I would have took her to court too. But that's next Gen NYC. I did want to hop over to some other crazy people. And Charlie took accountability. Well, he didn't. He just said sorry. He didn't take accountability. And that's the thing with Charlie. He never takes accountability. But I did want to hop over to someone that didn't also take accountability, which was Julia's fake apology to freaking Gertie on Real Housewives of Miami. I'm just like, Julia, if you don't go sit down, what I will say, the group has seemed to forgotten that Gertie is still going through cancer. It seems like they were trying to come for Gertie and Nicole last season, but they couldn't because Gertie had cancer. So now that Gertie doesn't have cancer, even though she's in remission, even though she's still going through it mentally, physically, emotionally, they're all coming for her. And I really think they're taking an advantage of the fact that Dr. Nicole is not on the show. That's why they brought Stephanie on my Toxic But It's Tuesday. Make sure you give a listen. I talk about Nicole saying Mary Saw hired a private investigator to track her and Anthony's whereabouts. And she said very soon into filming, she just felt like these were not her friends and like she needed to get out of there. And I don't blame her, but very sad. And now I just feel like it's a pile on with Gertie. Everyone's like, she's doing too much. I'm like, y'all do a lot as well. Larsa does a lot. Her face doesn't move. Lisa does a lot. She shows up 2 hours late. Alexia, you can't get a word in, and she looks like a barracuda. Marisol is a lot. They're all a lot. The only one I would say is not a lot. Well, I even feel like Kiki's a lot because all she talks about is sex. Like, it's a lot. You all are a lot in different ways, and I feel like it's very interesting in Miami to see everything comes back to race. Like, I'm a black woman. I'm going to relate everything back to race. But it's very interesting to see how you guys want the black girl to tone down herself, but none of you guys have to. And that's why I was disappointed in the first episode when Kiki did pull Gertie to the side and was like, hey, like, you can be a lot for people sometimes. And it's like, as a black woman, I would never say that to another black woman. Like, you could be a lot sometimes. You should try to tone it down. It was giving me, and it's not the same at all, but do you guys remember Summer House? I can't remember her name that was on there. It was Sam, and then there's, like, the other black girl, and it's, like, when the black girl, like, brought Sam in. I cannot remember her name. I did not like her. She had a terrible attitude. She was in with the bed bugs, though, and she was like, hey, you do a lot sometimes. And it's like, Sam's like, I'm on ADHD, like, medicine. Not the same, because I'm talking about two black women sitting down, but it's like, women, like, to pull someone down and be like, you do a lot sometimes, especially, like, I don't like it. I did not like when Kiki did that. It was giving Bose and Garcelle, like, I want to be the only black woman on this cast. I did not like that. And I didn't like it when it happened on Summer House to Sam, a white woman, a black girl telling her that, because I'm like, you know how you're about to look, girl. I cannot remember her name, you guys. She was on way too long anyway. But where was I going with this? I just don't like how they're all saying that to Gertie when I'm like, all of you guys are infamously known for doing a lot in Miami. That's what Miami's known for. Julia and Gertie sit down. Julia is like, I'm sorry that I spilled water on you, dumped water on you. What would be the correct term? She says she is sorry. And, yeah, they, like, Gertie's like, okay, I can try to move forward. What I will say about Julia and Gertie that drives me nuts, though, is, like, their inability to let both of them, like, letting each other talk. And it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm just like, all right, let's wrap this scene up. We'll see what happens. A lot of the girls are on Julia's side because Julia is a snake and has attempted to finagle her way through that group. Something's going on with Adriana. She's not really on, and she's not really on the show. I think she did something because she's not really on. She doesn't really have confessionals. She's not really on, so I'm very interested to see what happens, because she does seem chill right now, but I think she was edited down. The biggest thing that happens this episode, then I kind of want to talk about Stephanie and her man. So Lisa's late. They're going to some life coach instead of a therapist. Alexia hires a life coach she met on Instagram, an Australian life coach that specializes in narcissism, to kind of tell each of the girls what type of narcissist they have. And I hope he's going to tell Alexia as well, because she's definitely a narcissist. But she hires someone from Instagram. She's doing this Greek goddess party. And I love all the names, like Goddess of Tardiness. That was Lisa's. And it was like Goddess of Selfies for Larsa. But, so she literally comes on and brings this man, and they're supposed to leave on the bus, and Lisa was 2 hours late. I personally am not waiting 2 hours, and it's definitely giving production made them wait 2 hours. I don't think they wanted to wait 2 hours. And we also learn, if you're on Twitter, you learn a lot of tea on Twitter. Lisa said she told them to go on without her, and that, of course, wasn't shown. And that's why I always say these are edited versions of reality TV we are watching. You never really know the full story, because at the end of the day, the producers want us to watch the show through their lens. And today is going to be Lisa's the villain. Today is going to be Lisa, Stephanie hashing it out. Stephanie did not like it. I wouldn't like it if someone was late too. But my thing is, why the heck are y'all waiting 2 hours? So that's what I'm like, production had to make y'all. I'm not waiting 2 hours for anybody. I'm not waiting 2 hours for anyone. 30 minutes at most. You're not on the bus? Okay, you'll meet us there. I don't know. And then, of course, like, I'm shocked Alexia's not mad. It's like, dang, where are the girls for my event? Like, where are they? They weren't there. They're nowhere to be seen. But that's kind of how it ends, to be continued, because Stephanie's like, do you think you're better than other people? Like, you think everybody's on your time, which is tea. But now that I know Lisa's like, I told them to leave without me, my opinion's changed. Let's talk about Stephanie and her 25-year age gap. So she met him when She was 50 when he was 50 and she was 26. So that's a 24-year age gap. Apparently she's the grandma in the relationship. She says she didn't want to date him because, so I'm about to be 26. I cannot fathom dating a 50-year-old man. She did not want to date him initially because of what it looks like. So my thing is with Stephanie is she's supposed to be replacing Dr. Nicole. No one can replace Dr. Nicole. They also brought Stephanie on to ruffle Dr. Nicole's feathers. Can't even ruffle them because she opted out. I don't know if I like Stephanie. Are you guys liking Stephanie? It's very money. Very money. Very money. And very money. And it's like that's why we always say money talks, wealth whispers. It's giving like, oh my gosh, I just got this money. And I also am like, how much did this man help you? And she's saying like, he did help her clearly, but like a lot of this stuff she's done as well. And I just am like, I don't know if I believe that. I just feel like, I don't know. I get a weird vibe from her. And I know she eventually gets into it with Alexia. So maybe that's when I'll start liking her because I really don't like Alexia. But I don't dislike her, but I'm just like, Alexia is like the biggest delusional brat ever. And it's like her saying she would have left the show for Todd is such a BS lie. Like, no, you wouldn't have. You would never leave this platform if Todd wanted you to leave it. That was Real Housewives of Miami. I did some next Gen NYC in this hour. I did The Valley. I talked about Love Island USA and it just being so toxic. I can't wait for it to end this Sunday. I'll probably talk about it Toxic Tuesday when we know the winner. And then we'll also be back on Toxic Tuesdays, our Atlanta breakdown. We're going to be talking about the reunion. I don't think I'm going to do a full breakdown of the reunion because I'm going to probably want to talk about some other topics. I think I did that for like that whole season, like scene to scene to scene. I'm going to do things that make to me at the reunion. Still can't believe it's 3 parts. But make sure if you are watching me on YouTube, you give it a likes. Yeah, make sure you like it, comment, subscribe. And then, of course, if you are listening to me on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure you follow my show. Give me a 5-star rating. And let me know how I'm doing. We're going to be back to our normal schedule this week. This was a normal schedule. Next week, we have a what's the reality on What the Reality. We're going to get into a topic related to Atlanta, so I give you a little breadcrumb there. So I will be busy this weekend. I will be busy working again. It's like that one song from Sir. I love Sir. If you don't know Sir, a lot of people don't know him. But it's like you can't remember the last time like you were literally working your butt off. You're not working hard enough. And that's what we're doing because we're trying to get up out of here. We're trying to move to a city. We are trying to start this life of mine in my 20s. As I freak out before my birthday, turning an older age. Thank you so much for listening to What the Reality with me, Cashie Roberts. Period. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast, What the Reality with me, Cashie Roberts. Don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and a comment wherever you listen to your podcast. Let me know what I should be doing. Let me know how I'm doing. All compliments are welcome. Until the next time.